Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is Saturday, or September the 2nd, 2023. It's a Saturday. Hopefully, you're doing well. Hopefully, you're enjoying yourself. Hopefully, the vibes are good. As for me, solid, sweating. It's hot as fuck. But we're doing good. The vibes are immaculate. And guess what? I have a guest on this extra episode. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Alexa?
Hey, 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 I'm Elexa Chanda. Nice to meet you guys. And I'm very excited. Thank you for having me, Isaiah.
Oh yeah, no problem. It's great. Did you eat anything good today? Anything good this week? Any like fun thing happened to you?
Not exactly fun, but let's say I had an eventful week.
Okay, all right. We got through it. We made it past. We got our $200. Hell yeah, we'd love to see it.
Yes, we
I
did. Sure did.
I sadly I haven't eaten anything spectacular since my last episode. Last episode I said I had some donuts. That's still pretty much it. I had an orange, a little
Oh,
cutie.
man.
So there you go. I'm eating healthy. I'm trying. I'm trying to balance it out.
I mean, I'm really trying with the healthy part, but I had some chicken tenders like for 2 days in a row, so I can't really say nothing about that.
That's
Do waffle
chicken.
fries
That's
count as
chicken.
healthy?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's good carbs. That's good protein. I don't see any problem. You know what I mean? Maybe get some greens in, but who cares? I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
All
I mean,
right.
I eat fruit, so does that count?
Eat what?
I eat a lot of fruit. Does that
Oh,
count?
that counts. That hella counts. You're winning. You're up. You've got to be in like the upper percentile. If you're eating fruit and you have protein, yeah, little carbs, you're fine. I think you're good.
It helps me get through.
For sure. For sure. You're bodying it. All right. I'm gonna do my typical startup, and then we can go ahead and get into some news if you're ready.
I'm ready as you are.
Oh hell yeah! All right, ready, Freddy.
I'm excited. I can't wait for the first story. Our first story is that is funny.
It's good. I, this episode is a little bit lighter. There's no dead bodies. We love to see that. This will be an easy ride for everybody. But all right,
Wait, usually have dead bodies?
we usually, sadly, yes. There's usually like a lot of shootings. I do a lot of American news, so there's like a shooting every
Wow.
day. A school gets blown up. So this is a very light episode by comparison.
Well, I'm glad I'm here for it.
All right. All right, right, right. Let's see. WTW or WTWO, Your News Now. That's where I got this article from. Man gets OWI while driving a Power Wheels Jeep. Now, what threw me off is I almost skip past the Power Wheels, but then I get into it and I'm like, no, that is the crux of it. That's almost like the crime here. Well, we'll get into what the real crime is. But a man was arrested for driving a Power Wheels Jeep while impaired Wednesday night. According to Indiana State Police, a trooper was patrolling the 2500 block of North 2nd Street in Vincennes when he saw someone driving a Power Wheels Jeep with no lights or reflectors. Power Wheels are a child's battery powered vehicle meant for children ages 3 through 7. Now, also, if you're wondering, is John McKee, I'm sorry, the man, the driver, was he 3 or 7 years old? No, he was 51. He was 51, and he was just trying to make it, and he just needed to zip on through. And he was also powered by meth and marijuana. I guess that's an important thing to add. And he's just
Yes,
like, yeah,
definitely.
let me just hop in the Power Wheels, little zoop 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 zoop, and get
Go to
there.
7-Eleven real quick.
Yeah, just get a little quick bite. Get a little quick bite. Let me get a big gulp. Actually, I don't even think a Power Wheels has like a cup holder, so he'd have to hold that while he's all scrunched up in there. Poor guy.
It's crazy.
But I admire that. Like to me, this is something out of a movie. I swear I've seen it, or like I've seen it in the streets somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I don't. I feel bad almost, but I think it's one of those things where he wasn't sober when they found him. So they try to like do the whole sobriety thing. They take him to jail. Then they got to take him to the hospital. They find out he's on meth and all this shit, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a wrap, brother.
You're gone.
So yeah, so there's that story. I figured we start off with something super easy, super light, kind of funny. This one's kind of a little bit closer to heart, being that I was a DoorDash driver for over a year. But from CBS News Miami, BSO, two men scammed Uber Eats out of more than $1 million. So this was a
Wow.
big hustle, big heist. I was kind of
What
surprised.
was that again?
Sorry, what was that?
What was that again?
This was at Fort Lauderdale, Texas.
Florida.
Miami. My bad.
Oh, Texas?
Yeah, no, it's Florida, Miami, Florida, Miami.
I figured it was Florida.
Yeah, this does. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This does feel like a Florida-related crime. Like you just kind of get the vibe of it. You take in the story, and you're like, this had to be done under high heat and humidity.
Definitely.
All right, let me go ahead and read it. Two men were arrested this week for allegedly scamming Uber Eats out of more than 1 million deliveries, according to the Broward Sheriff's Office, which is the BSO. BSO stated in a Friday press release that following a nearly 8-month investigation, detectives with the Strategic Investigations Division obtained arrest warrants for Trayon Morgan of Lauderdale, 21 years old, and Roy Blackwood of Sunrise, 38 years old. And both were charged with organized scheme to defraud and grand theft. So I wanted to give a rundown of like what they did, like what was the operation. Oh, excuse me. The release stated that Morgan used Uber Eats and would act as the customer and courier by placing orders for pickup under a fake name before accepting them as the delivery person. Uber would then provide him with a pre-authorized and preloaded gift credit card to make the purchases, where he would make up to $700 in a single order. Then,
Wow.
as the customer, Morgan would cancel the order, then proceed to purchase a gift card with the Uber credit. So, I mean, this is a diabolical lick. Like, especially in the earlier days before, like, I mean, this is still January 2022, so I shouldn't say early days, but I still feel like the technology is a little bit behind app to app. Like, I think DoorDash usually handles their shit fastest, but, like, Uber Eats could probably still be a little bit behind the curve because they're just a driving app and they just kind of came into the food order game. So I think they got to take advantage of this. And if you're wondering what Blackwood's role was he was just the wheelman. So Blackwood would drive Morgan around to different Walgreens locations to defraud the stores. Now I feel like what they were doing there in terms of how like Walgreens is involved is they were just using the gift cards to get stuff. Like they were just kind of running out of Walgreens to like get order or like buy things. So, they then get added into the whole scheme in a way and adds to their, crime punishment shit. That being said, I mean, this is a nasty little caper. Like, this is the kind of shit that when it hits, I'm sure, like, they had to, like, reframe and reorder things in the system. And it probably made it harder for, like, customers after to, like, get refunds because they don't want to fucking lose more money. They're trying to fucking sew that shit up.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. I do find these kind of capers interesting. I'm never, like, saying, oh, yeah, go out and do crimes. But at the same time, like, this was a good one. This was juicy.
I do have a question about it though.
Yeah.
Like, it says that Uber would then provide him with a pre-authorized and preloaded credit card to make the purchases, right?
Yeah.
How?
So
How?
I believe that
Like they just give him a.
like the way it works is you get a card to start your job, and I think that's the preloaded card he used. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's the card he would use, and then he would put that card onto another card and then use that card. So that's probably how he made the transfers and then used the money to buy whatever he wanted to at a Walgreens or whatever. At least that's how I'm picturing how this went down. I might be wrong there, but
Right, that's what confused me a little bit about the story, but
it's a little bit weird in terms of what the exact operation was. But they were literally watching them do this at this point. They had surveillance on on them. They watched them total up to $5,013.28. I love that they got it down to like the cents. And this is where I pan out here, because don't get me wrong, I get it. You're gonna make an example of these people. This kind of crime is bad. It has bad ripple effects. But like, this is taxpayer dollars went into stopping this, and like like, okay, I get it. Like, this is a dub for the cops, but this is kind of like the meme where like they like do the the profile press release, and like you see the one bull and like an eighth, and it's like, yeah, we did it. We really stopped crime today. Woo! Like, yeah, man. You really no more Uber Eats scams.
Dude,
oh man,
that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. That's
right.
just the tip of the iceberg.
We're about to get really into the food scams. We're about to find them all. We're about to get the kingpin of Uber Eats. Maybe that's the next lick.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too small. All right, but speaking of cops, we got another story from the Insider. A San Francisco bakery is refusing to serve police officers because its policy does not allow guns inside the store. So this is a little crafty little scheme, maybe, I don't know, but let's get into it. Some cops in San Francisco will have to look elsewhere for their leavened goods after Reem's, California, a local bakery chain, said it is enforcing a policy not to serve anyone armed. The San Francisco Police Officers Association responded on X that Reem's, a local bakery chain, had recently denied service to an officer who was in uniform. Oh my God! No cops allowed. That's the confirmed policy of the bakery chain Reem's, the union said on a post on 2024. Okay, I have to say that they used caps lock here because they needed to show how mad they were about it. Like, oh my God. Like, don't get me wrong. I love all unions, but cop unions are the most annoying one. I'm sorry. Like, we get it. We need more money. Why are you guys treating us so bad? Meanwhile, they're making like the most money out of any union. Like, they're doing great. They're doing fine. And these guys are mad that they can't get their little donut at Reem's. Like, okay. My violin is playing.
Is it just the guns or just cops altogether?
And that's the thing that I'm kind of unclear about. Even Insider's kind of fuzzy on here. Because, let's see. It is unclear if Reem's policy applies to all people who are armed or only those who are armed and wearing a uniform. Now, I can see how, like, there might be some legal standing against Reem's here. If they're saying if you're in uniform and have a gun, you specifically can't be here. Which, I mean, hey, they're just saying ACAB, but, you know, they're just doing it in a nice way. And I fuck with that, but I understand how they could get heat for it. But if they're just saying, hey, we don't want to have any armed people in here. Sorry, what was that?
Is there crack in the donuts or something?
I don't know. Maybe they're really good. Maybe that powdered sugar really be hitting different. Because if you are typing on X, no cops allowed, we're molding about this, then like the donuts must be fire. They must be fire. Like their croissants must be fucking S tier. They have to be.
Addicting. Call that addicting for real.
Right. But I do love that, and I'm just going to paraphrase it a bit here, but Reem's is using this to, like, make a message. Like, they're really trying to make a point that they are really trying to stand up for, like, social and racial justice, and they want to see a community that is safe, point blank, period. That's what it's about. And my speculation is they don't want any armed people in their store, and they're just saying, like, why should we allow people who are, like, we would let a firefighter in, I'd imagine, because they're not going to bring their power hose in and fucking hit anything. You know, at the end of the day, you're bringing a gun, you're making this a hostile environment, we don't want you in here. And I can respect that.
That's a great idea.
You know, I think if you're an American business owner, there should be nothing wrong with that. I don't know, call me crazy. But, yeah, I figured I'd get a chance to talk about that, why not? All right, we got one more thing to cover, and I'm going to take my last smoke break, and then we'll get into it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, a worm.
A worm. Yeah, Alexa, could we still be friends if I was a worm in your brain?
I don't know how I would feel about that.
You know, you have some concerns. That's fair. We'd have to discuss that.
Right.
But
you have the boundaries in between that. You're not living in my brain. That's one thing.
I'm in your head all day.
No.
Wriggling around. Okay.
I already have intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, that's too deep. That's too no, you gotta get out. You gotta at least be in like my ear canal. Oh my God. Live worm found in Australian woman's brain in world's first discovery. So I initially peeped this from, I think, BBC News. I heard about it listening to a podcast, and I was like, hold the phone. I stopped my tracks. I was in the middle of work, like, wait, you mean real brain worm? Like, whoa. But this is from The Guardian. Let's see. It was a fairly regular day on the ward of Canberra Hospital infectious diseases physician Dr. Sanjaya Senayaki. Ooh, we did not make that one, but okay, whatever. Until a hey, I tried. Until a neurosurgeon colleague called him and said, "Oh my God, you wouldn't believe what I just found in this lady's brain, and it's alive and wriggling." Okay, pause. Before we continue, if you're the guy, the colleague, you don't word it like that. You have to immediately tell me it's a worm. Because what do you mean it's alive and wriggling? Like, what is alive and wriggling in her brain? Like, stop! Stop! Stop playing!
Right, what you mean?
Like, that's too cute in my opinion. We're professionals. That's what I'm saying. Now, the patient was a 64-year-old woman from southeastern New South Wales. She was admitted to her local hospital in late January of 2021 after suffering 3 weeks of abdominal pain and diarrhea following a constant dry cough and night sweats. And low-key, this right here kind of fucks me up the most, right? Because these are just common symptoms that you have if you're sick, or maybe you ate something funny, or what have you. So, like, you're just like, okay, I'm just feeling a little off. I'll take a nap, I'll rest, I'll maybe have to call off. But, like, this shit keeps happening, and then it gets worse. So by 2022, her symptoms then included forgetfulness and depression. So she winds up going to Canberra Hospital. They do an MRI scan because someone finally is like, okay, we've been poking and prodding this lady. We can't figure out what's wrong with her. Her symptoms are only getting worse. Let's just try an MRI. Let's see if it's brain related. And they see that there's abnormalities that require surgery. At this point, they don't know what it is. So then they go in and they see that they can find a wriggling worm in. And he pulls it out and they're like, oh my God, what is this? Like, what's going on? So they have to, like, do a little bit of research. Let's see. Canberra is a small place. So he sent the worm, which was still alive and wriggling, by the way.
Wow.
Straight to the laboratory of Cicero. Of a Cicero scientist who said, who was very experienced with parasites. I hate that they call it parasite and not a worm. He just looked at it and said, oh my goodness, it is Ophidocaris robertici. And I'm like, okay, why is Robert in my head? What are you talking about? But apparently this type of roundworm is usually found in pythons. So it is a parasite by nature. And, in the situation, sometimes its eggs can be, like, laid out in, like, I believe the python's, like, excrement. And it's believed that the woman, she's, like, forages, she goes out a lot, and she was in the grass and maybe picked up a parasite egg and either somehow ingested it, inhaled it, it somehow got inside of her, then hatched, and then burrowed into her brain. So, I believe she's better now. You know, they found the cause of it. And, you know, that's good. That's a W. So we're ending on a good note. But, man, like...
That's terrible.
Yeah, I could not imagine. I'm just having my little hobby. I'm just going outside. I'm being outdoorsy. And the next thing I know, I have a brain worm? A brain worm? No, thank you. I would never go outside again. Like, I'm gonna leave the pythons to themselves. Leave the worms to themselves.
Maybe she shouldn't have been touching all that grass.
I mean, maybe... Good point. Good point. Maybe there is too much grass. Maybe you hit a point and it's like, we need to go home and touch concrete. We need to touch 4 walls, you know, and some carpet. Because there's no roundworms in there, okay? We're safe.
Look at what you get for being adventurous.
The ultimate punishment.
Nature's punishment.
I'm just never going to go outside again. I'm going to stick to the rivers. No, I can't even go to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to. There might be worms there. Like, no thank you. I don't need a parasite. Maybe TLC was wrong. Okay, but that's it. That's all I have. That's all we have. Alexa, you made it. This is it. This is the episode.
Yay! Thank you for having me again.
No problem. Thanks for being
Hope
on.
to do
It was
it
nice to have
soon.
you. Is there anything you wanted to add? Anything you wanted to plug?
Not really. If anybody's looking for me, my Facebook profile is Elexa Chanda, and that's about it, guys.
Also, I have to say, Alexa is one of the funnier people on my timeline. She's definitely adding levity.
Thank you.
I
Thank
saw
you.
I saw them fight a bee today, and it was an epic struggle just to eat, just to make it. And that's the kind of shit that we're going through. It might not be roundworms that we're
We even
fighting, but
enjoy
we're
mangoes
still
and
out here.
peas.
Okay? Exactly. No peace, apparently. No peace. Only
Oh
war.
yeah, we're dealing with a bee infestation at my job. That's what really is going on, and it's tragic. Tragic.
Bees are scary. Like they go into soldier mode sometimes, and they just start stinging. They just start going crazy. Like no, please. I just want to let you be. Let me be. Let me enjoy my food. Let me have a little bit of cologne. Like just don't bother me.
They want that sugar. That's all that it is.
That's all they want. And revenge. They want sugar and revenge.
Pollination.
All right, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Bye.